Hello, Annalita. This is Alka from Global Women Power, and we are meeting you for our series called Meet Our Sheroes. This is a program which we run for women of eminence and to learn from their experience. And in this series, we have met many personalities which have really given us the lasting impressions about their journey and pretty motivational. I always believe that, just talking natively, your raw experiences bring more life to the living people around us rather than reading a book. So, in this context only, we are meeting today. So, I will pass it on to you. And the way we conduct it is that where you are today and from where did you start and where are you going? About your journey as a woman, professional, and any other role you have taken over. Over to you, Annalita. Hello?
Are you on mute?
Not me, but I think her internet. Hello?
Yeah, I think there's a minor glitch on the internet, but what
Okay.
I've heard, just to reiterate what you said, and thank you so much for having me. It's a great pleasure. I love the word eminence as you have described it earlier. I don't know if it's something that I do apply on myself, but it's definitely a new word that I would love to implement in my day-to-day activities. So as far as what I've heard, you wanted me to share where I was, where I am today, and where am I going,
Right.
correct?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you for having me. My name is Ernelita Dacumos, also known as Ernie. It is my father's nickname. And basically where I was a woman. I would connotate it as a broken woman. A lot of us would say, well, everyone is broken, right?
Mm.
So I was broken in the sense that I did not have the confidence in myself. From somebody who moved in a first world country at 17, I suffered inferiority complex. I didn't have the confidence in myself. And I used to stutter when I have to speak in front of a group. And alongside that, I built this name for myself because but I moved to United States with the notion that I wanted to improve my life. May that be making a name for myself or just helping my family get out of poverty, right? But life has its surprises. So, with that being said, I got married very young, now divorced. And because of that, I lost a complete sense of belief in myself from on top of having inferiority complex and stuttering and not having self-confidence. And that went on for years. I
Mm.
was lost. I was in multiple relationships to a point where and I didn't even know what I wanted and who I was. Until one day I didn't know that I was diving into personal development. I just loved the idea of reading motivational quotes here and there. Then eventually I started diving into personal development. So with that, without intentionality, we don't really know where we're headed, what we're going through. So I hired a coach to help me in finding out what's wrong with me. I did in 2018, I believe, I developed this black hole in my chest. It's a metaphor. I felt this emptiness inside of me, and it felt like it was getting bigger and bigger and bigger to a point that it's eating me alive, metaphorically. So I did not know how to fill it. I didn't know what is wrong with me. I even seek professional advice. They said, I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing wrong with you. You're completely healthy. But
Mm.
inside, something was missing. And throughout that coaching journey that I had with her, I've learned that the reason why I was feeling that emptiness inside of me is because I wasn't living my purpose. I was not prioritizing myself, and I completely lost a sense of who I am and what I am meant to do. Right? There's a quote saying that the two most important days in a person's life is the day they were born and then the day they found out why.
Wow. They didn't find out why. Then why
right?
were they born?
Yes, the day you were born and the day you find out why you were born.
Wow.
And why that's when I found out why I was born. I went through all the struggles that I faced because I was meant to speak in front of an audience to deliver my story and share that with them. Now, mind you, Dr. Aka, I said earlier I have inferiority complex. I didn't have the confidence in myself and I stutter when I have to speak in front of people. So I was like, okay, how in the world will I be able to do that? Right? But I it's the same as everyone else that would ask the same question when you're but what kept me going in that process is the why. Why is it given to me? It's the vision that was put in my heart. I am to deliver that message because of the impact that it will have to someone else.
Mm.
And because of that, I dove into personal development even more. I got certifications to be a certified speaker, coach, facilitator, trainer through the Maxwell Leadership uh, Certified Team Program. I was able to complete that within a year. And alongside that, I was conducting mastermind. I was applying all the knowledge that I've learned along the way. And little by little, I started gaining the confidence. Little by little, I started talking. Little by little, I started connecting with individuals who has shown me the way in order to improve more. Along that journey, I became a part of Toastmasters. Toastmasters is a global organization that helps build leaders. So I developed my speaking there. I used to compete for speaking contests and was able to partner with amazing individuals, especially with the co-host on my radio show right now. As you may know, I have an international radio show. I co-host that with another amazing man. And with that, we've so it's more on giving back today. I was this woman who was lost, who didn't know where she's headed, who didn't know who she was, to finding the purpose. Now, where am I headed? Where am I
Mm.
headed is bigger and better as always. I've always said there's no other way but up. We will always face struggles along the way, but there's no other way but up. And with that, I am working on a book right now and I'm manifesting it and announcing it to the world. Marina Worry had this quote: the definition of success is say yes, let the whole world know, and figure it out along the way. And that's what I'm doing. I'm writing a book so that the knowledge that I've acquired over the years will then be available to everyone. Yes, we're making an impact with the radio show today. Um, it's international, but it's a certain time of the day. Yes, you can replay it whenever it's convenient, but having a book that you can dissect and you can return to and read would be powerful, and especially reaching the ones that I know I will never be able to reach because it's just one me and there's billions of people around the world. But that's where I'm headed, that with the full intention of not changing the world but changing someone's world.
Hmm. So when you now where you are, if you look back, I always call those people are chosen ones because they were going through the training, maybe in a hard way, when you start your journey,
Yes.
right? You get picked up because you live so close to the life that you learn it by walking through it.
Mhm. I do agree. As John Maxwell, my mentor, Dr. John C. Maxwell, said, you cannot give what you don't have, right? There's a lot of value and resources provided today, but sometimes they are given without the experience, without the actual knowledge about the experience itself. And I do firmly believe that those individuals who has gone through the journey, who had experienced the blood, the sweat, the tears, and the pains, are the ones credible to share their journey enough to say, this is what I did, this is how I got out of it, and maybe you can use it into your own advantage.
Share in this journey, because how many times you had to tell yourself that you have to keep going? How many times, right? Without any assistance from anybody else. Can you share that? Because this is where people succumb, you know.
Mm.
Share that part,
Oh my
please.
goodness. I would be lying. Yes, yes, yes. I would be lying, Dr. Aka, if I say today I still don't ask myself, why are you doing this, Ernie? I still have those days today. And I will not say that it will ever go away, such as fear, right? Fear, they say, oh, you can just overcome your fear. You overcome the fear. And I share that because fear is an indication of growth. If you're not scared, then that means you're not growing. Right? So I I would always ask myself on days when I have my doubts, my imposter syndrome, the questions that was popping in my mind before is, who do you think you are? Why would they listen to you? Right? Again, coming from a third world country, sharing these and also educating people, that question will always pop up. And like recently, the question that I hear is, why are you doing this? Their lives would still be the same if you don't do anything about it. But the reminder that I have is, I did not have the confidence that I have today because I stopped. I did not have the confidence that I have today because I had the confidence that I have today because I fulfilled every promise that I had and made with myself.
Mm.
And if I can show somebody that I came from where I was to what I have achieved today and they can do it,
Mm.
that's the most fulfilling aspect of it.
Mm. Also highlight the importance of mentor in your life.
Yes. So when we say mentor, we have this perception of expensive. It has to be all the time. It has to be an individual. It's actually not that. A mentor is somebody that you have on your ear on a daily basis. That could be a podcast like this, right? Stories of Sheroes. That is a mentor. Reading books that will help you, right? And then my mentor, Chris Robinson, said, learn a little, do a little. So when we're learning something, that's the mentorship piece you're learning, and then applying that knowledge is doing it. It's very important because if you're not continuously learning, you will feel stuck, you will be stagnant, right? There are, with the technology that we have today, with the internet, we have an array of information that we can consume, but we have to be very mindful of the information that we consume. So the mentorship aspect is it, now mentor can be two part, mentor in a good way or in a bad way. That's the information, right? So as your mentor, may that be your family members telling you, oh, you will never amount to anything. That's a mentor too, because they're telling you information. Now, if it's a mentor who's empowering you and uplifting you, that is a mentor. Now, which information are you consuming? It's very important because it lights a fire in you to keep moving forward. And I have a ton of mentors in my life that I will probably never meet in person, but I've consumed the information and I've applied them little by little, and that's all that matters. You don't have to have a radical change in your life. When you learn something from a mentor, apply them. That's how you will see the results in your life.
Mhm. I want to share a tip here for the audience and with you also. Because when we eat food, there are a few steps to that, like ingest, digest, then absorb, and then there is assimilation. It is a
Yes.
part of the digestive process, right?
Mhm.
So most of the people, they stop at absorption and they talk to each other, say how well you are absorbing food. And in assimilation, it just becomes part of you and you don't even know, like, from where did it come?
Mhm.
Same goes for the knowledge. You
Mhm.
ingest, you digest, you absorb, and then you assimilate.
Mhm.
So in my life now, wherever I am, when somebody asks me, what are you doing these days? Then I say, I'm unlearning what I learned.
Yes.
That is also, a kind of a milestone where you want to go free from whatever you learned over a period of time and then see what comes out of it. You know, when you will speak in front of hundreds of people, don't go prepared, see that what comes out of you, because all these years you were in the process, right? So this is another in my journey. That's what, I'm just gaining my freedom by just shedding away everything. But the journey you had, I think I also had similar journey, learning from even from a cat and a dog
Mhm.
and a tree, and a leaf. Everything was a mentor in my life.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. And did you put any title to your book?
Yes, it is titled Unapologetically You: Pathway to Self-Confidence. I'm announcing it now. It's in the process, it's in the works,
Mhm.
with the hopes that it will get published before the year ends.
Okay.
The
And
first book.
First book.
so that also, if you share a little bit, so many people just keep thinking, I have tried a book, I have tried a book, but they never write a book
Mm.
about their experiences. What does it take to sit down and decide on writing, decide on a title or something and date? When will you publish it? Share a little bit about that too.
Of course. So here is a thought. My way may not be the same as everyone else's, right?
Of
But
course.
these are things that I've used in order to succeed to it. When you have a burning desire to do something, I will use the acronym ACTION. And I'm going to have a keynote speech about this. So action A is to acknowledge that you have that burning desire to do something.
Mhm.
C is to challenge yourself. Do you think you have what it takes to do it? When you have that burning desire, most likely you do have you do have what it takes, right? Because that was given to you. T is to take action. What is that taking action aspect? May that be sitting down in front of a computer and just brainstorming and writing whatever it is that you wanted to write about. You don't have to have it all figured out today. I is intentionality. Once you have all the brainstorming, the word vomit, as my friends call it, be intention about it. Without intentionality, it would feel like you're throwing darts on the wall without any results, right? But if your intention and say, okay, at the end of this year, I will have it published, or at the end of the week, I will do my very best to finish a page, whatever that it is. because there's a difference between having good intentions and being intention. Having good intentions is, oh, I would love to write the book, like you said, that Dr. Aka, I would love to write a book, I would love to do this, I would love to do that, but it's just here. You're not developing results. But if you are intentional about it, you would say, I am writing a book. The difference is one gives you the results, one makes you feel bad because there's no results that came out, right? The next letter on the acronym is O, observe. When you are in a path, whatever journey that you're trying to take, it's very important that we step back and observe the progress, right? There's always reflection that needs to happen. We need to figure out what was working, what was not working, where is the results, or what it is that you need to do less. So just full transparency, and I wanted to share this to the audience because I wanted to be raw, transparent, and real. The book itself, I started it in January with the full intention of finishing it in December. But again, having good intentions and being intentional, my thing is I had it set wherein I know which chapter I would land each month, depending on my schedule. I've already mapped it out. Now, 3 weeks ago, I was in a position where I was not meeting the deadline that I've set for myself. Now I had to reflect and step back and say, what am I doing wrong? What is it that I need to do to make sure that I meet my deadline? And that's when the next letter comes in, navigate. Once you have reflected, navigate from there. Right? So what I did is I asked for help. I asked for help with the friends that I have. I have a friend who knows about self-publishing, and he's also a coach when it comes to writing. So I raised my hand and say, hey, how can you help me finish this book? Because today I'm not meeting where I am. I'm not to where I wanted to be. And sometimes you would need that. Sometimes you need somebody to push you forward, again, to empower you and uplift you, right? And then navigate from there. And because of me raising my hand, now I'm in, again, I'm in the new deadline of finishing the book in 3 months instead of 6 months, and having it published by the end of the year. So just that, it in itself is action. You have to acknowledge it, challenge yourself, take action, intentional, observe, and navigate from there. As if you notice on that acronym, Dr. Aka, there's nothing that says research about it. You have to have everything in place, because it's not going to be successful if we have to wait for it to be perfect. It's not going to be successful if we have to research all day about it. The first thought has to be, you acknowledge it, you challenge yourself, and you take action. From there, you will then observe if it's working or not, and then you navigate from there.
Perfect. So what is this idea about this international radio? What does it bring to you monetarily? Does it help you, or you are just expanding for the desire of yours?
So the idea of the international radio show is actually, there was no idea to it. Well, there is. So the radio show was a result of a webinar. So my co-host and I do a webinar back in December of last to add value to people. When we say add value to people, we just wanted to pour on the knowledge. I know how it feels like having confidence in yourself. I know talking to yourself negatively, right? So line of radio shows, and there's a ton of podcasts out there. What to everyone today? Sometimes it's good to the nitty gritty, the blood, the sweats, the guests that we have on the radio show, that what they desired in their lives. But we wanted the radio show to be raw, authentic, and honest. We talked about the mindset that they had before, how they overcame it, and where they are today. And the reason why we do that is because we wanted it to be relatable. We wanted it to inspire someone who is going through the same story, same scenario in their life today. And if they can resonate, if it can resonate with them, apply those tangible tools that we shared during that show into their lives and have an outcome. So it, as of today, we're building it. We are a year in on the radio show. We've had a sponsor to continue the radio show. We've had tremendous blessings with the numbers. We are on 29 countries as of today, and it's still growing. So the progress itself is phenomenal, to a point wherein we didn't even know how we got here. We were just aiming to add value to people, and God himself has provided the audience. He has provided the resources for us.
Very, very nice. Nancy, do you have any question?
Yeah. Did you by any chance have people that you've interacted with or consulted, help them, that they were on the verge of totally giving up in suicide?
I would not say interacted, but close to that. So again, I have a passion of the younger, I have a passion with helping the younger generation today. There's a lot of conversations online wherein, there's quiet quitting, there's a high volume of suicide, there's just uncertainties, there's just confusion, which is understandable in today's age because of the fact that there's a ton of information out there, and it's hard to believe. It's hard to figure out who you believe and what to believe in. And sometimes these young kids doesn't have the resources, doesn't have the mentorship itself to, have a better directions to them. My closest interaction was facilitating a workshop for the youth, and then speaking with a colleague about a family member who wanted to commit suicide. And what I have done on those two scenarios, so speaking in facilitating in a youth environment, was providing them with the idea in mind that they are overthinking things. So the scenario that I had was this young man. There was an activity that I did in that workshop where I asked them to write all the negative things that they tell themselves. And then I asked one of them to share it. And he said, well, I hope people would like me. And the question that I asked him back is, what makes you think that people doesn't like you? And he said, well, because I'm a little different. I'm unique. I act differently in front of everyone. And my heart melted for that kid, because that was the thought that I had before. The notion of, will people like me? I want to please everyone. I want everyone to think positively of me, but me myself is not even thinking that. So I told them, let me do you a solid. I asked everyone in the room, raise your hands if you're thinking the same thing that he's thinking right now. And everyone in that room raised their hand. And I said, see, not everyone is thinking about you in a good way. We are all in ourselves thinking this, that, I am I enough? Am I going to amount to something? And because of that, we go on this downward spiral that we're the baddest person in the world. We are weak. We 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 don't matter to a point we're in. There's no reason for us to live, right? But when you learn that everyone is thinking the same way, right? We're all in it as somebody who's worried about something that doesn't really matter, right? What matters most is your belief in yourself, and that's something that we have to fix, which is why I am very passionate about personal development when it comes to self-confidence, when it comes to having a better mindset, because I think this is the missing piece in everything that we do in our lives. We don't wake up one day and say, I want to commit suicide today. No, we wake up because of all the problems that we have to face. We have the perspective of giving up because of the notion that it's never ending. It's always the negative things. It's always the struggles, the pains. But in all reality, it's just how we view life in a certain lens. I hope
Another,
that
Ernie, another question I have from you is that, does all this bring financial independence to you?
not yet, but I am seeing results of all the seeds that I have planted over the years. The goal is to be financially independent, but it's not the main focus. And why do I say that? I am a firm believer that when you're doing something that you love the most, money always follows. And I don't want to offend any of the viewers. I have faith attached to me, and I have my creator providing for me throughout this journey. And to me, that is more than enough. I know that I am taking care of the things that I have achieved from the day one to this day would have never happened without divine intervention. So yes, that's the goal, but I'm just doing what I love, and it's adding value to people, helping those who, again, like what I said earlier, I'm not here to change the world. I aim to change someone's world. If I can have somebody who can, change their life, the trajectory of their life to a better direction, that's all that matters. And I know I will be taken care of at the end of the day.
What is the top need or priority to make this happen for you?
What, the financial freedom?
Well, because you have this in line with what you're doing. It's your passion, and I believe a passion should be a person's career. If they're only doing something to survive, they won't live long. They won't have quality of life. They'll be full of stress. But with what you have, your passion, it's commendable. What is the priority or the main need that you have so that the ball will go rolling even faster?
So in full transparency with mine as preparation, obviously I have met people who have quit their day job to do this full time and struggled along the way, which I'm not saying it's wrong, but also how can I serve some people if I'm not in a good situation myself? So it's a matter of planning of an exit strategy, and at the same time, planning financially, planning for engagements, consistent clients, consistent speaking engagements, and contracts. So those are the things, and it's a matter of saving enough money in order to have the sustainability to do this full time.
Getting the name out there more in marketing, I guess, right?
Yes, definitely.
Do you have any portfolio or a website which our people can know?
Yes, I do. It's called Confidently You, that club.
Confidently you.
That club,
Mhm.
CLUB.
Confidently you.
Yeah. So the website itself actually was just a, again, platform for me to share knowledge. It's a blog that's flourished into a platform where you can get the radio show link to adding more value every month on a monthly basis. And now it's a platform where you can reach me.
Mhm.
So there's teachings in there that I've shared over time of all the knowledge that I've gained and applied in my life.
What
So
country are
how,
you
Say that
go
again.
ahead.
country are you from?
I came from the Philippines.
Okay, mabuhay.
Mabuhay, yes, for sure.
Very good. Go ahead, Aka. Sorry.
And what do you host people? What is the criteria? Who is eligible to be the guest on your
Radio show.
radio show? Yeah.
The guest, well, the only criteria that we have is having that individual having the same DNA, and that's adding value, with the goal of adding value to others, right?
Mm.
So that's the criteria. We've met so many individuals who with the main goal of just, they just wanted to share the knowledge, they just wanted to teach, they just wanted to to have an impact to people. And we've been blessed with those guests who has helped us teach and empower others as well. So that is the criteria, having the same DNA of just wanting to help others.
Yeah. So because I might like to be one of the guests and pass on this message of global women power,
Yeah.
because if you are in different countries, so we also intend to open our chapters in different countries and share, you know,
Yeah.
what is our motive behind that.
Yeah, definitely. The process is we hop on a call with my co-host, and then from there we would schedule. And for those who would like to be a guest on our show, that we have a
Sure.
discovery call, and that's where we learn more about the guest itself. And the reason for that is we won't just jump in on the radio show with
Mm.
no intentionalities, to having the intentionality. So we would jump in on the radio show with mm, mm, knowledge about the guest itself, and at the same time we would meet a week before the actual show to have to hone in on the content that we will share
Mhm.
um, during the radio show,
How
because
long is the show? 1 hour?
the show is 57 minutes to be exact, because there's commercials, there's other things that happens on the background, but 57 minutes with the commercials and the breaks.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, I will definitely connect with you after this, Dr. Alka, and schedule
Mm.
that call.
Sure, sure. I'm so glad, looking at the spectrum of women we meet, every week, every time, something new. I said,
Mm.
so we are like a bouquet, we are all bringing so many colors together.
Yes, yes. The goal is not to compete. The goal is to work together so that we can all impact as many people as we want, right? I wanted to normalize empowering other women who does the same exact thing
Mm.
as I'm doing. And to be honest with you, the radio show itself, my co-host and I has a ton of content to share on the radio show, but we don't
Mm.
do that. We bring guests because we can
Mm.
teach, we can speak all day, every day,
Right.
and share knowledge, but our stories will not impact other people. Our message will not resonate to someone versus to another individual like you, Dr. Alka, to be on the radio show and then share your story. The goal is to add value, not to limit the resources that we have. The more
Right.
people that we have on our side, the better. It always takes an army to make something happen.
This is
And
also an indication of growing, because when you start on this journey, it's all about me, 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 and then it's all about you. Mm.
I agree. I agree. It's more on, yes, you're sharing your story, right? When you are on the spotlight, but when it comes to the end result of things, we didn't really do it by ourselves. There's mentors, there's people that are working on the back end that are not seen on the spotlight. We're just the face. So like on our 1 year anniversary on the radio show, we had this special episode for the our anniversary, where we had guests call in on the radio show, share their journey with us. And we also thanked everyone who happened to be on the background. The producer, our producer on the radio show, was with us on that episode. The very first woman as a guest on the radio show was on that episode with me. We also thank the sound engineer that is always on the back end. You will never see his face. To this day, I never saw his face. I just know his voice. He's working on the back end. We also have virtual assistants who help us with the marketing. We have graphics designer to do the design. So all this, yes, we're the face, but there's a whole army that's working on the back end, and it's
Ernelita, is Chibwe one of your co-hosts?
Not co-host, guest.
Yes? No, I thought you have. It's someone that is associated with you. Her name is Chibwe. She's also into the Toastmasters. Hello? I think she phased out. Internet.
you recommend.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
Chibwe is also in
Yeah, I can
Toastmasters.
hear you.
Do you know Chibwe? I think your name is associated with her, with the Toastmasters. Does she work with you? Yeah, I met her at
Yes, she
Commerce.
is a yes, she is a colleague of mine, a very, very good leader. She is very enthusiastic when it comes to leadership. Actually, her and I are doing a workshop this coming Saturday, and it's
Oh,
called the Attitude and Heart of Leadership, where we will teach about the true attitude and the heart of being a leader, of what a good leader looks like. So yes, we work together. She's part of my team. She's a dear friend of mine too.
yeah.
Thank you very much. And I will request you to reach out to me at your convenience. And then, we can just plan further so that I can also do my contribution to your radio show and pass the message on to other people what we are doing.
Did you ask the question, Dr. Alka?
I just said that I was saying thank you to you for sharing your journey, and also would like to be part of the radio show and share whatever information I can take it to other people through your media. And please reach out to us whenever you have convenient time.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I have Miss Nancy's cell phone number, so we can definitely connect from there.
You're based in Tracy?
That is correct.
Okay. We have an office there. We help people with immigration. I think with Workvine through Eric. You know Eric there at Workvine on Tracy Boulevard.
Oh.
That's where I picked up your card. That's how I know you.
I thought it was through the Asian Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, maybe it was. It might have been both though, because I remember your card. Oh, maybe it was Chamber of Commerce. Yeah, there was 200 cards I picked up. Called every one of them. So,
which was amazing.
I like meeting people, seeing what people. That's it. Come together as a hub to support our causes. That's good.
Do let us know once your book is ready.
you might have to repeat that.
Will do for sure. I'm excited
Yes.
to finish the book.
Alrighty, see you again sometime.
Thank you, Ernelita. We'll be in touch. Bye-bye.
Bye.